Hello everybody, this is Garbage Games, and welcome to Dreadnought. I know that I haven't made a video in a little while, and I'm sorry about that. I've been busy with personal life stuff, as well as fixing my PC, because my PC was broken for a little while. And I know Dreadnought is not a game I cover normally. I covered it in a few videos and way back, but it changed quite a lot, so we're gonna do a new 101 series on this game. I will still make cross-out videos, no worries, but currently I'm waiting for story mode to come out so I can cover that and maybe do a few Let's Plays in between, but other than that there's not really interesting cover stuff going on there, so I'm gonna be playing Dreadnought for a little while. So today we're gonna be covering the main interface screen as well as ship types. So we got a help play section here covering a little bit of the ship types. You can pause if you to play praise here. If you want to read this stuff, you can pause the game at the moments like they are showing up. But I'll be explaining that in the video as well. So anyways, we got some statistics here, of course, where you can see your own information, and all the other stuff here is actually, well, not really the interesting stuff. Let's first go over the top right, actually. Got a little message here. That you can get verified. Anyway, this is my username in this game. This is actually a really old account before I became known as the cat. And this is my character here. Here's where you can show your squad, where you can see your friends. But we're not all that here for that, are we? We're here for the freaking space battleships. So we're gonna go to ships. So we got 3 different manufacturers. Each manufacturer produces one ship of each type and multiple variations of the aforementioned ships of those types. So I'm just going to go to Jupiter Arms and I'm going to show their variants of the ships. And first up, we're going to cover the ship type of the Corvette. I'm going to use all the original game names before they came multiple variations, because basically back in the game there was one of this version, one ship of this version, one ship of this version, one of these, and one of these. And the original name of the light Corvettes, is what these are, is the Valkyr. So these are the Corvette class is a light assassin style, made to break stalemates if both teams possess too much healing power. That's when these things kick in. Their feature are a lot of mobility, such as afterburner or a warp drive, but also cloak. Have cloaks somewhere. Yeah, your cloak, different variations. They have a lot of burst damage in terms of torpedoes and also like disruption as their weaponry, basically. They're there to take out one guy or do some strafing runs. These things have these variations specifically. The light one has the main armament here in the front with the 2 big twin Gatling guns on each side, and it can only fire forward because of that reason. It is the fastest ship in the game, but it also sits with the lowest health, with at the top tier only 1200 HP with a maneuverability rating of 71. The special thing about these things is the shield rating, which is 100% damage absorption, so these become absolutely invulnerable while having their shields on. And that actually only goes for Corvettes. Next one are tactical cruisers, and from the Jupiter Arms you got the Gataro. The Kataro comes to 22,000 health, maneuverability rating 39, so quite a bit slower. This is the only tactical cruiser that cannot heal with its main weapon. Normally these are mainly healers, but this thing is actually a Corvette Hunter. In terms of support modules, you can see a lot of ally boosting effects, such as repair drones or search drones that give you allies energy, or energy missile that give you allies energy, or just repair pods that automatically, or weapon booster missiles like automatically repair, boost weapons, anti-missile weaponry, repair auto beams. Like, there's a lot of support stuff in this thing. These are very vulnerable on their own. I mean, you can equip them with some missiles on their own. You can give them a so-called blast pulse to deal some damage in short radius, and They have some defensive weapons in terms of the secondaries, but don't rely on them as being your actual main unit. The only advantage is them having beam weapons, which makes it really easy to hit the really small corvettes, because those are really nimble, it makes them hard to hit with anything else. So the next class here is the artillery cruiser, which are snipers, and the original name for this one, this is the heavy artillery cruiser, which is the Granada. So this comes in at 17,500 health, 80% shield, 29 maneuverability rating, so it's pretty slow. And their entire arsenal here is long range, so 14,000 kilometers mines, sentries. These are actually one of my personal favorites from back in the day, sentry catapults, or sentry cats, as we always used to call them then. And like long range missiles that will take out enemy, like make them slower, or give them no visuals, or drain their energy. And that's basically where they come in. And their third and fourth shot are basically self-defense to protect themselves, because they are really slow and really low health. They're the glass cannons of the team. They can do some devastating damage, but they're still support class. The fourth and the fifth one are actually the ones that are the not support classes. So next up we got destroyers, with the Jupiter arms coming in with their medium destroyer, the AFAS. And these things are your mainstay, your main soldier class, basically, of other games. Decent health, 32,500, 75% shield disruption, decent mobility at 40. And their abilities are often like other just damage or utility. Like break enemy weapons, boost allies' weapons, a lot of different torpedoes, and otherwise missiles at short range, or even ramming. Because yes, you can actually ram people in this game. It's actually kind of fun. Yeah, plasma ram, 30,000 damage. It is 100. It says 100 meter range, so basically 100 meter in front of you. That's actually the hitbox. And they actually have this really powerful ability module called the module reboot, which basically resets all your modules to use them again. So actually, there's actually a tactic in this game which is called the Suicide Destroyer. Basically, takes a big torpedo, takes another big torpedo, and then takes whatever hell here they can have, drain pulse, whatever here, but then module reboot, and then another ability that basically resets all your modules again if you're at low health. So you just charge in, drop your nukes, reset your ability, drop more nukes, then get to low health, drop more nukes, reset again, drop more nukes. It's kind of obnoxious sometimes, but these things do require health from medics, otherwise they can die pretty quickly. Next up is the heaviest ship in the game, the Monarch, the heavy Dreadnought. These have very big gun batteries here as one of their modules. 90,000 health, 65% shield damage, 20 maneuverability, being the slowest in the game. They have mainly other like broadside weapons, or large bombers or fighters that can go in long range and go on their own. Or they have like nukes that are really long range. Here are more missiles and torpedoes. Here is actually armor boost pulse is the one that's most popular. That's gonna give you more health, more resistance. They have a warp drive, and they have other like health improving or damage improving stuff in here. And now we're gonna go on to the Acuta Factor. So this one is basically like the bare minimum of what a ship needs if you look at the original variants. Because these are basically the same ships, but they just have worse stats. But basically the bare minimum of what you can have on a ship in terms of armor layout and whatever. It isn't really made pretty. I mean, they're kind of sleek, but aren't really very pretty. So onto Acuta Factor. One that's going to be standing out here is the Cartier class, which is nicknamed the Potato, actually, because of this variant. They do not have the previous ships, I think, but they have pretty good all-round ships. So first up, got a Corvette again, which is the Kreshnik is the original name, which is the heavy Corvette. This one has shotguns, and they can actually only fire forward as well. No one knows, but they have a little bit more range left to right than the Valkyr, and has quite a bit more health. Again, the same shield rating, but does a little bit less mobility, and everything that's right here is actually all the same. So I actually not cover those anymore, and I went back once too many times. Next up is the original Kashi, actually. Uh, Sometimes they put the original ship on another tier than tier 5, which is kind of weird. This is the heavy healer. This thing has the strongest healing output with the heavy repair beam. As you can see here, heavy repair. And again, abilities are all the same. And this one has the highest health of all Taco Cruisers. And at high tier, if you want to have a medic around, this is probably the best one to have. Here we got the Svarok artillery cruiser, medium. So this one deals a little bit less damage, but has more mobility, 25, less health. And it's actually one thing that you might notice here is ship absorption ratings are basically based on how big the ship is. How smaller the ship, how more effective the shields are. Like Dreadnoughts are only 65%, while Corvettes are 100% damage reduction. These are 80. And these are all pretty good. Like I would say the Kosher is the best in class. And here they're all pretty good. All the Corvettes are pretty good. They're pretty balanced. Svarog is kind of underwhelming, I think. Then we got the Gora, which is the Heavy Destroyer. Has 50,000 health, which is the same as a light Dreadnought. So you can basically pick between going for a tank loadout with the light Dreadnought or go for a damage loadout with the Destroyer. And then we have the Zemi, which is the medium Dreadnought. A little bit more mobile, and I would say this one is the most competitive of the 3 Dreadnoughts. I still love the Monarch though, because it just refuses to die entirely. And that's why I actually use that one instead of the Zemi type. And here we got the Volgora as the original. This is the medium Corvette. The difference between this one is this one actually has beam weapons, which makes it pretty useful at taking out other Corvettes and dogfighting of the sorts. Just all around between the two, it has better range than the shotgun or autocannons. Like the autocannons has to do a strafe run, which makes them pretty ineffective at staying at a distance around enemies and keeping the damage on. That's actually why I think the Fulgora has a slight edge above the other two, but it's not much. Here we got the Aeon as the medium tackle cruiser. It has a medium repair or medium damage, so it deals less damage than the Kataro, and it has less healing than the Koshe, but it can do both. So again, if you just want to have a tackle cruiser lineup, but you do not know whether you want to be healing or Corvette hunting, then there we go for the Aeon. And then we got the artillery cruisers, the Nox class. This one is actually my favorite. And this is the light artillery cruiser. With this one is the only one that actually has fully 360 traverse turrets, so you can fire from any angle. And this makes it for a mobility type sniper. So you just run around at a maximum kilometer range of 7,000 meter. So some of these classes actually has less range. Like this variation is actually specifically has less range than the other ones. But 7 kilometers, you can just run around, and like 35 mobility. It's kind of slow, but it's still doable. And if you set your energy to your engines, which I will cover in the next video, you can actually get around pretty fast. Here we got the Vindicta, which is the light destroyer, which I think, again, like these are all opinions here, but Oberon does make some gorgeous freaking ships. But this is again the light destroyer, and this one is best used with the ramming tactic. So instead of dropping the nukes, you basically do suicidal rams one after another. And yeah, it's just a average ship. This one actually has less range of the other two. The Gora I think has the most range, also 7 kilometers. Then we got the Invictus. This is the light destroyer. Again, as mentioned, the Gora has just as much mobility and health as this thing has. Sort of basically the same, except this one has the whole different range of modules than the Gora has. Dreadnoughts are just really important in your team to soak up damage, and also they can be stalemate drop like breakers with the nukes. If you can surprise somebody with a proper nuke, or you can actually just like make a Tartarus missile, which is actually like a stasis train and module interruption. That's actually probably the best nuke. You don't actually really need the damage because they're gonna shield up anyways, and you're not gonna be doing much damage because again, damage reduction 65 or more percent when the shields are active. Doesn't matter how much damage you can do in one hit if they know it's coming, because they will know, because they get actually get a warning sound from nukes. Well, that's why actually this one is actually one of the more useful. But I'll actually go into what modules are useful for what ship class and why in specific videos. So I will be dishing out a total of 15 videos, one for each ship class, once I unlock the tier 4 version. The tier 5 version, the only difference is that you actually get a extra gun type in the type units here. And yeah. So you have 3 different fleets. You have the recruit, which is tier 1 and 2. Veteran, tier 3, 4. Legendary, tier 5. The game becomes more complicated if you get far higher up in the tier. If you check again, if you check the ships here, you only got 1 destroyer and 1 corvette type. Here we got 1 artillery cruiser, 1 dreadnought, and here we got 1 artillery cruiser and 1 tactical cruiser. Which makes that there are not really much types of ships in the tier 1 and 2, and they are also very much limited, as you guys can see here. In terms of research, what modules you can use are very much limited on their tiers, and that makes the game in the lower tiers way more simple. At tier 4, you have all the ship types, but you do not have the full secondary weaponry range that you have on tier 5, so that's a small difference. I should also note out this screen. These are the premium hero ships. You get more free experience that you're going to assign to any ship, more ship experience, and get some vanity items. Vanity items are items such as, I can actually show it pretty easily by going for the furthest and go to appearance. Go to the forecastle. So this is the furthest. This is none. This is a standard first class, and it's extinction. Ooh, that's actually a really cool front. But I actually already sold my heart to the Celestia variant. I like how this thing looks so much. So yeah, the premium ships come with special variations of all those ship parts. You can see how like the ships slowly evolve over time if you get more part types. All these ones come with unique parts for every part, which is the bridge, the main ship, the front, and the rear. So we got 2, like they all cost real money to get. So the 500, this one is for example 3,000 gray box points, which it comes around 25 bucks. And it really depends on the tier. So this one is 1,500 because it's a tier 3 and not a tier 4. And of course tier 4 is way better because then you're the best in class in the tier 3, tier 4 like group of the elite ships. So that's what's the difference between these here. I mainly play veteran because I haven't unlocked legendary yet. And here you can assign 5 different ships to your loadout. You can go actually click and then remove a fleet to remove a ship and then add ship. If you do not have more, if you have less than 5, then you can assign 1 on choice. And I will actually put the Mafias back because I'm actually grinding through the Mafias to get the tier 4 variant. So that's how you can get different ships. And here are also different game modes. You have any game mode, which is standard. Onslaught is a special mode where you have to get a lot of points by destroying various AI targets, and destroying enemy players also awards points, but some of the AI targets, mainly the command ship, which is called, it's a very tough Dreadnought, but very underpowered in terms of weapons that you have to kill, and that gives you a lot of points. Team deathmatch, just your standard deathmatch, reach a certain skill amount before the time. It's 25 kills shared with your team. And your team is also 8 players, by the way, so it's 8v8. It actually used to be 5v5, but they changed it to 8v8. And Conquest is the most unique mode, and I will actually cover that in a separate video. Conquest basically holds in that you have to control the map by getting players in strategic locations, and it's actually a really fun game mode. And that's mainly it here. We have a market here where you can buy packs, buy currency. Here you guys can see for 40 bucks you get 5,000 GP, 2,000 GP for 15. So again, like the 3,000 GP goes around 25 bucks here. Then we have some various bundles, including some decoration for your actual commander. Because you can actually customize your commander dude here. Elite status, basically premium time. And then we got a shit ton of premium ships. And some of them are really, really cool looking, such as Tridents, Celestia. Some of them are just like odd. One of our good example would be the Naga. Just look at those freaking snakes on the side. Some people really like it. I'm not really a fan of the Naga. And of course, what's a game like this without a Dreadnought with a monkey out in front, right? This a great car. The car, Dreadnought. Sorry. And here, Captain customization. Here, you guys can see like different suits. Ooh, I got some different suits as well. It's pretty cool. Actually, though, wait, I have to buy those. Oh well, I guess I'm just staying to the standard shoot then. Oh well, rip. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This one is not with gameplay. This video, I will actually cover the game modes and gameplay in separate videos. See you guys later. Bye.